Hey NTA Nation, this is Ben, back for another cigar review, and this time I'm doing the Montecristo New York Connoisseur. You can see they sent us bloggers this blogger pack, this blogger edition, and it came with this beautiful looking box with the New York skyline on it. You can see that there. And as you look inside, it actually has two of the cigars and a brief description about what the cigar is all about. And basically this cigar is released only in the state of New York, not just New York City, but actual state. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like, you know, the big middle finger to New York City with their excessive tobacco tax on cigars. And several manufacturers have came out with New York City exclusives. But this was actually available in the entire state, not just New York City itself. But anyway, they sent it, it's a 2-pack. You can see both mine were in here. So kind of the way, I haven't really explained this before, but what I like to do is always have one cigar on backup just in case something happens, like I drop it or something happens to the camera or just whatever accident that's not really the cigar's fault or something wrong with the cigar, that I have something to fall back on in case I do, which is why there's the other one's still in here and I got this one because I only have two. So anyway, so we're going to do this basically as a first impressions. So remember, just take everything, actually take any kind of review that anybody does with a grain of salt. So each palette is different. So anyway, look at the bands. Pretty nice classy bands on this thing. And box press 6x60 Super Toro. I mean, that thing is freaking massive, man. I mean, that's a big sucker. Look at the cap there. Better look at the wrapper itself. And I don't know if you got a good look at the end of it there. Looks nicely packed. I mean, it's a really good sharp box press. Not as sharp as something like the factory press 4 from Authority Dominicana, but I mean, it's pretty sharp press here. I mean, I don't even know if it could pick that up, but you can see the grain of the wood that's from the box. I don't think you can pick it. The camera can pick it up, but just right there, you can see actually where the grain of the cedar was pressed into this, in the side of this thing. So, actually, it's not the cedar; it's the actual. Here, I pull this out. It's the ribbon, is what it was. That's how. See, it's kind of grooved. Anyway, that's pressing the side of the cigar. Pretty tight in there. Anyway, I got these a couple months back, and they came, and it was super humid. They seemed a little wet, so what I did was I put them in my humidor, and I let them rest, which I usually do for at least 2 weeks with any cigars I get. But these were so large that I was kind of scared that maybe they needed a little bit extra time. So I had to wait till after Christmas, and during that time, you know, everybody was doing, we are doing our top cigars of the year and all that, so it kind of got pushed back. So I'm finally able to get to it. I've been really looking forward to actually trying this out. So anyway, enough talking. I'm going to use Montecristo Samurai Cutter, their V cutter. So see how this thing works. It's kind of unique how it works. Super thin. Actually a little bit hard to kind of hold on to, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to do a cross cut on here and see how that does. Well, it's not as pretty as my Zycar for sure. It did the job, but as Zycar, it's like a laser cutting through there. So it kind of squished it. So anyway, I'm going to try the cross cut. Now hopefully it don't just smush the cap. That's kind of what I was worried about. That isn't too bad. Not real bad. Not pretty, but it's definitely functional. Anyway. It has a pretty decent draw. It's a little bit loose, but it's not bad at all. It's definitely, I don't think it'll be any kind of a problem, but it's a little on the loose side for what I normally like. And the flavors I'm getting off the cold draw, it's like a really mild, sweet cedar kind of flavor. I guess it probably just came out of the cedar box, but that's what I'm getting. Kind of a really smooth, sweet cedar, and it's kind of faint though. It's not nothing really strong. So anyway, let's try to light this big 6x60. But oh, the MSRP on these is about 14 bucks. So for a Montecristo, and it's not a limited edition either. From what I understand from the report that was in Cigar Aficionado online, it's actually going to be available year-round. It's not a limited edition or nothing like that, so it'll be easily available. So 14 bucks is, you know, I don't know, we'll see how it goes, see what that's like. But I don't know the taxes in New York. I mean, I live in Mississippi. We don't have much of a tax on tobacco, but it's the South, so it's just the way it is. But I kind of heard somebody mention that it's probably, if it's 14 bucks, it might be like 25 bucks after taxes. I hope it's not that bad up there, but it's supposed to be a full-bodied cigar, but as it's starting off right now, I don't even think it's medium-bodied the way it's starting. It's more medium mild, if anything. Oh, and I did forget to mention too, it has an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, a Nicaraguan binder, and Dominican filler. And what made me think about that is I'm kind of getting a slightly kind of slightly acidic, kind of a sour taste in the tobacco, which kind of reminds me of a lot of Dominican tobacco. You know, you get that kind of a slightly sour taste out of it. It's not a bad, overwhelming sour, but it's kind of one of those things that kind of tips me off. There's a lot of Dominican tobacco in here, certain Dominican tobaccos. See, it's a ton of smoke. But right off the bat, I'm getting it's actually kind of a lot of muted flavors. There's not too much to it right now. I'm getting some, like it's that sweet cedar. I'm getting that like I was getting on the cold draw. I'm getting it now after it's lit. There's a hint of spice, not very much, is a very slight hint of it, and I mean a little bit of creaminess, but that's about all I'm getting right now. So anyway, let's see how it goes, and I'll be back into the first third and let you know how it went. See you in a second. Everybody, I'm back, and I'm about at the end of the first third now. It's still, this is supposed to be built as a full-body cigar. If you look on the Altadis website, to me it's nowhere near full-bodied. It's the low end to medium, if anything. To me, actually, I think it's more of the, you know, mild medium to me. But anyway, it does have a woodiness and a sweetness to it, but that's kind of all that I'm getting out of it. I'm not getting too much else. I mean, there is that little hint of like the sourness that I was talking about. I mean, it's not like a bad sour. It's kind of like, you know, kind of that. It's like a almost kind of like a little pucker sourness, you know, whatever, like the candy sourness. It's nothing. It's not major. It's just kind of one of those telltale signs of certain tobaccos. But anyway, it's to me there's not a lot going on right now. It's kind of I mean, it's not a bad smoke. It's kind of linear though, and there's not enough different flavors for me personally so far. But anyway, I'm gonna smoke this another third to the end of the second third. I'll let you know how it is. See you in a second. Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm done with the second third now. There's really not much change. I'm still getting the woody note and a sweetness. It's pretty much it. I'm not really getting anything else out of the cigar. I mean, it's smooth smoking, got great construction, really good burn. You know, and it's tons of smoke coming off of it, but it just, to me, there's just not enough flavor to this cigar. I mean, it's big, just like New York City, but I figured, I don't know, maybe I was thinking it might be a little bit more bold, especially considering that they said it's a full-bodied stick. To me, it's barely medium, probably medium mild still, even this far. And it's got a little bit more power the further in you get, but so far it's still not even medium yet. But it's, I don't know, like I said, it's not a bad stick. It's just there's not enough there to keep my interest so far. So anyway, I'm gonna finish this off. I'll let you know how it is in a second. Everybody, I'm back. You can see I'm at the end of the cigar now. It's kind of mundane. I'm only getting those two flavors, the woodiness and the kind of the sweetness, and that's pretty much it. I mean, every now and then I get a little bit of spice, but it's not nothing I get a lot. And I'd say it's medium to mild. It's probably the strength of the cigar. I mean, it would be a good first thing in the morning smoke, but after that, to me, it would just die off. I mean, it's not strong enough for my palate for the rest of the day. It's definitely an early morning smoke for me, but it's I don't know. It's not a really bad cigar, but it's not enough there to keep me interested. Like I said, it's just woody and with some sweetness. That's pretty much it. And every now and then you get a little hint of you know, the spice. In the very beginning, I got that kind of a little bit of a sourness. I mean, it wasn't actually a bad sourness. It was kind of something that it's not too bad in my cigars right now, especially Dominican cigar. And I get that every now and then with some Dominican tobaccos, but it's I don't know, $14. I can't see that, but I mean, that's probably cheap in New York City. I'm not real sure, but anyway, I mean, like I said, it's not a bad cigar. It's just nothing that I would personally pick up myself. It's just not enough to it. It's not really complex. Only just a handful of flavors. It doesn't change from beginning to end. Now, it might shine if you made it to a smaller ring gauge, something like a Corona Gorda or something like that. It's just a little bit smaller, or even a Robusto. You know, maybe that'll, you know, increase the body of it. But to me, it's just not enough there. Not enough there for me. But I don't know. It's each their own. So on that note, remember, nothing beats a nice tight ash.